Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today it's that time of year again when people who are maybe a bit Scottish or maybe just aspire to be celebrate the birthday of Scotland's national poet, Robbie Burns. And generally you do that by eating haggis. So today I'm going to show you how to make haggis, Scotch egg. Shout out to Ryan Martin before we start, because he asked for one, and you know, if you don't ask, you don't get, generally. Anyway, right, yeah, haggis. I was going to make a proper haggis from scratch, and for that you need a sheep's pluck, which is the heart, liver and lungs all joined together. And unusually for me, I did some forward planning. I even went as far as getting the special casings to make the haggis in, or to cook the haggis in. Unfortunately, what I couldn't get is the rest of it. I'd ordered it from a butcher on Leeds Market, and yeah, he completely forgot to order it from wherever he gets it from. So I could have got the heart and liver, but he says, sorry mate, I've got no lungs. And I thought, how are you breathing then? So backup plan, supermarket haggis turned into Scotch eggs. Because really, I don't think you want to watch me just, you know, heat up a pre-made, pre-cooked haggis and present that as a video. That's not what I do. Anyway, I'm waffling. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, etc. Etc, by the way, involves give me money if you want to. You can make a donation or become a patron on Patreon. Yeah. And, right, enough waffling, let's do it. Okay, so ingredients for your haggis Scotch eggs. You want a haggis, you want some eggs, the best eggs you can get, which are these, an ordinary egg, and some coarse breadcrumbs. These are panko breadcrumbs. You read about them in lots of recipes, but I've never actually seen them. If you can't get panko, just use coarsely ground stale bread, which is what I normally do. The eggs, these are magnificent eggs. Burford Browns from Morrison's. The yolks are like bright orange, very expensive, £2.35 for 6, which is about twice the price of a regular free-range egg, but less than meat or fish, and just amazing and worth it for a special thing. The haggis, this one, I've not tried this brand. This is from Aldi, in fact. So I'm be quite interested to see what that's like, because ingredients are listed as lamb lung 30%, water, oatmeal, beef liver 13%, beef suet 12%, barley, kibbled onion, salt, ground pimento, ground black pepper. I'm sure it'll be fab. And also, Americans, I'm really sorry, you can't have this. Your government, the FDA, says you cannot have haggis if it contains lungs, because those are not fit for human consumption. Dang. And if you've never had haggis, I mean, it sounds disgusting, but it's not. It's really amazingly wonderful. Okay, let's boil some eggs. Now, you might think that boiling an egg is possibly the simplest thing in cookery. It isn't. You often hear people saying, I'm so bad at cooking I can't even boil an egg. Well, guess what? Sometimes I can't get an egg the way I want it. When I'm boiling an egg, I want the white to be firm and set. I want the yolk to be runny. And it depends on tons of different factors. The first one, your eggs, if you keep them in the fridge, take them out of the fridge a couple of hours before you want to use them. They need to be at room temperature. Also, the freshness of the eggs. I bought these this morning, which may or may not be significant because they might have been sitting on that shelf for a few weeks. But if you pop it into water, a fresh egg sinks to the bottom. And this is the ordinary egg, which I've probably had for a week or two, and we'll see what happens. It sinks to the bottom as well. If it's less than ideally fresh, it would float at the top, and I don't recommend that you use it. Other factors that can mess up your egg are the initial temperature of the water, how quickly it heats up, how long you let it sit in the hot water afterwards to kind of coddle. So yeah, it's a tricky thing. Anyway, we'll have a go. I'm doing it in the WSK because it just looks great. So I'm going to pop some eggs in. I don't know how many I can fit in this. You want them in a single layer. And if you have a kettle with, you know, the exposed element coil thing, don't use it. It won't. It'll crack the eggshells. But this has got a flat bottom, as it were. Okay, I don't think I can get another one in there. Maybe I can. No, I can't. Okay, and then add water, cold water. Enough to cover them by about 1 centimetre, about 1/2 inch. Okay. And boil it. When it boils, switch it off. Don't wait for it to do it automatically, and set your timer. I'm doing this for 5 minutes. While those are cooking, you want to prepare a bowl of iced water. Could have just left it outside, it's really cold today. Shut up! Thank you. Fish your eggs out and put them in the iced water. I decided to do it this way because I got a couple of egg coddlers for Christmas, and it's a nice technique. You know, you just bring it to the boil and then you let it sit in hot water until you think it's ready, so they can sit in there as long as you need them to. And there's 2 reasons to put them in the cold water. One is so, you know, they get cooled down so you can peel them. The other is it stops that grey ring forming around the yolk. Now I need to peel the eggs. I've done one already. It didn't go great. I always find it kind of hard to get eggshells to separate from the egg. And I've tried lots of things. I've tried adding salt to the water or bicarb. Quite often it's a challenge. Okay, I managed to peel my eggs without wrecking them too much, but you know, I'm not actually thrilled with the way that went. So I'll just get them out and drain them. I think they could have done with another 1 or 2 minutes cooking because they are very soft and floppy. Never mind. We press on. So I'll just get a bit of flour and coat each egg in that. And now to open me haggis. Cut a slice off and just work that between your fingers and thumbs and soften it and squash it as flat as you can. We're aiming to get a disc of haggis that's big enough to enclose the egg. So here goes. Nah, not big enough. Need more haggis. Okay, this should be big enough. So we'll try again. I've got a bowl of water. I'm just going to moisten the edge of the disc so it'll stick together, and then just try and smooth it into a ball without crushing the egg inside. Pretty tricky because the egg's really soft. Right, I've got serious doubts about whether that will actually hold together when I'm frying it. Right, I've just taken counsel from the Oracle. I looked stuff up on the internet, and yeah, most people who make Haggis Scotch eggs do it by mincing the haggis with some sausage meat. As it happens, I have some sausage meat, so all is not lost. Right, isn't this fun? So I've now got 6 blobs of haggis and sausage meat. So I'm cooking the other 2 fancy eggs in a kettle. So I'll strip the haggis off the first 2 that I did, because that was never going to work. This is a lot more manageable. Oh, and I'm cooking the other 2 eggs for a bit longer, for 7 minutes instead of 5, in the coddling stage. Right, here's my 2 7-minute eggs, and I managed to peel those, and they are perfect, and you know, they're holding together. So yeah, don't cook them for 5, cook them for 7. I told you it was trial and error, but you didn't believe me. So beat up the ordinary egg, coat your Haggis Scotch egg in it, and then dip it in these big old breadcrumbs. Wow, these are chunky. Right, I've got some oil in a frying pan on medium heat, and just gonna pop my Scotch eggs in. The reason there's a stick sticking out of it is it's a 7-minute, it's one of the 7-minute ones, and I want to keep those separate from the dodgy 5-minute ones. In the older days when I had a deep fat fryer, which I've still got, but it never occurs to me to use it, and I know that I'll need fresh oil when I do. That would be a better way to do this, but or maybe one of those newfangled air fryers. Who knows? But this is what I can do, so I'm doing it. Right, I've taken the sticks out of those 2 because they were getting in the way, but I can remember they're the ones at the front. And you just need to keep turning them so they get kind of brown all over, and they probably want to cook for about 10 minutes. The haggis, by the way, is already pre-cooked, it's just getting warmed up. But I'm slightly worried about the raw sausage meat that I had to add, which, you know, will take a bit longer. Okay, those are looking somewhat cooked. Take those out, and then stick the sticks back in. Here it is, our wonderful feast and our mistress of ceremonies. This is KeefCooks.
With apologies to my father and all of my Scottish family. Fair fa, your honest sonsy face, great chieftain of the pudding race. Aboon them all, ye tak your place, pinch, tripe or therm. Well are ye worthy o' a grace as long as my arm. The groaning trencher there ye fill, ye hurdies like a distant hill. Your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife the rustic labour dicht, and cut ye up wi' ready slicht. Today, trenching your gushing entrails bright like ony ditch, and then, oh, what a glorious sight!
Yeah.
Warm reeking, rich.
Look at that egg.
That is pretty fab.
Look, kind of new. Wow.
That looks really good.
Okay, so that's a 7-minute egg.
That does
Let's
look
look
good.
at the 5-minute egg. Oh.
Oh.
How
7,
bizarre.
yeah. Don't know if you
Okay.
can see, but the 7-minute egg is quite runny, and the 5-minute egg is set. Mind you, it's a smaller egg, I think.
Complicated. Anyway, and I invented this, the salad egg.
Oh, you're joking.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, Scotch tomato.
You should have put a Scotch bonnet in there as well. No. That'll work a treat, but I expect it'll need mayo.
Oh, you want a knife?
You've got to have mayo if you're going to have tomato and haggis. I love haggis. I absolutely love haggis. Right.
Well, because you don't like runny yolks.
Oh, I could make an exception for this, right? I'll have a go at this one.
Wow.
Light and fluffy. I do like that. I prefer the texture of that because it's lighter and fluffier.
Which one?
No, I prefer the Haggis Scotch egg to the meat Scotch egg, which is usually quite firm. Oh, this is lovely. Oh yeah. And you did salad. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. I didn't think that'd work.
Oh, look at that. Cooked tomato.
Oh.
Well, we'd better stop eating and let these poor people go and rush out to buy haggis and bits and bobs.
Nah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That, even if you ain't Scottish, is a lovely thing for Burns night, which is the night after tomorrow, isn't it?
Well, it'll be Friday night, and this will be Friday night published, so it'll be Friday night, it'll be tonight,
Oh, right.
sort of thing.
We're doing this
Anyway.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
Light on Friday.
Alright. How do we do? I forgot how we do. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Okay, that'll do.
McNom.